Sebastian and Camila were once inseparable. Their love was deep, reckless, and all-consuming. But love alone wasn't enough, not when Camila's parents, Alejandro and Valeria, controlled every aspect of her life. Sebastian was from a poor family, scraping by with odd jobs and big dreams. Camila, on the other hand, was the daughter of a ruthless millionaire who believed love was nothing more than a commodity, something to be bought and sold. One night, Alejandro decided to end the relationship once and for all. He invited Sebastian to their estate under the pretense of a civil conversation. But when Sebastian arrived, he found himself standing in the middle of a lavish dinner party, surrounded by men who measured respect in dollar signs. Alejandro smirked and placed a check on the table. $1 million, Sebastian. Take it and disappear from my daughter's life. Laughter rippled through the room. Camila, who had just arrived, froze at the doorway. Sebastian looked at her, his heart pounding. He could see the pain in her eyes, the silent plea for him to refuse. But then he thought about his mother, who worked herself sick. His father, who had given up on dreams long ago. His future, which seemed like a dead-end road. And so, he took the money. Camila's world shattered. "You never loved me," she whispered, voice breaking. "You just needed an easy way out." Sebastian didn't defend himself. He simply turned and walked away. Years later, Camila moved on, or tried to. She threw herself into work, traveled the world, and buried the pain beneath a polished, untouchable exterior. She convinced herself that Sebastian had never truly loved her. Until the night he returned. A fleet of luxury cars pulled up to her father's estate. Men in tailored suits stepped out, followed by a figure she barely recognized. Sebastian. His presence commanded the room. He was no longer the struggling young man from the past, he was wealthier than anyone present, including Alejandro. Alejandro's expression twisted in confusion.
"What are you doing here?"
Sebastian smirked and slid a check across the table.
$1 billion. In exchange for Camila.
Silence. Alejandro's hands trembled as he stared at the number. It was 10 times his net worth. Camila, who had been listening from the grand staircase, stormed into the room.
"You think you can just buy me?"
she snapped, fury and heartbreak warring in her eyes. Sebastian met her gaze.
No. I think I can prove that I never cared about the money. I took it because I wanted to become someone worthy of you.
You broke me, Sebastian. You left me humiliated, believing you never loved me.
And I've spent every single day trying to be the man you deserved.
Alejandro scoffed.
"Even if you're rich, you're still not good enough."
Sebastian's smirk returned. "That's the thing, Alejandro."
I don't need your approval.
Then, with a calmness that sent a chill through the room, he tore the $1 billion check in half. The pieces fluttered to the floor like dead leaves. Alejandro staggered back, speechless. Camila's breath hitched. "Why would you do that?" Sebastian held her gaze. "Because love isn't something you buy. It's a choice. And I choose you." Tears welled in Camila's eyes. For years, she had convinced herself that he had only ever wanted money. But standing before her now was a man who had everything, and was willing to give it all up for her. She took a shaky step forward. Then another. Then, finally, she chose him, too. Sebastian pulled her into his arms, whispering, "This time, I'm never letting go." And this time, he didn't.